Hey guys, it's Justin Muller here, and giving you my overview video of the first arc of Boruto, the Ghost Incident arc, or the Ghost arc. I don't know what the official name of it was. It was the first legit arc that we had from Boruto that wasn't based on the manga, or in this case, anything like a movie count arc at that point later. If those who don't know exactly what overview means, these are take arcs, season anime arcs, or season anime, like for one season of another anime, of an anime, and basically give them a review. This is what this show, what basically overview is. And we're going to overview the entire arc of the first 14 episodes of the, no, actually, the first 14 episodes of Boruto, which was the Ghost Incident arc. And for a new anime, basically, as for a sequel anime series to original already Naruto, Boruto was basically one of those series that was basically hyped because it was basically the continuation of the Naruto franchise or Naruto story, but with Boruto as this main lead as the son of the next generation of shinobi. Like from Sasuke and Sakura's daughter Susurara, the son of Shikamaru and Tamari, the son of Ino and Sai, the daughter of Choji, and the girl from the Hidden Clan Village, and everyone also seeing the events of the Fourth Great Ninja War, where all the nations are pretty much basically in a state of unification. Both still there's some tendencies around between, but there at least maybe some hidden dark secrets in there, but everything's all been unified since the Fourth Great Ninja War. And for our first arc of Boruto, right off the bat we're introduced into a threat to make there basically was the shower possession thing that possesses people who are down of emotion. Feeling some sort of disappointment, some guilt, or afraidness, or shyness, or whatever. Excuse me. Well, for whatever dark, deep emotion they have, they always can be possessed. We're going to see a small glimpse of Boruto's Tensai, which the show here confirms that that's Tensai, and Boruto doesn't even know what the true nature of that eye is. Over the course of the 14 episodes, we were like thrown between like left and right to say like who was going to be culprit. This thing was actually even powerful enough to take down the likes of Shino, who, yeah, sure, Shino may have got a chance to be in the spotlight that much often during the previous series of Naruto, except for that one moment against Kankuro in the cheating exams arc when San told the Xan village it did the betrayal and caused their invasion. That was like Shino's the only one time in this scene. Well, Boruto gets Boruto. That's the teacher of the Ninja Academy. Dealing with all these new characters, from Denki to Iwabi to Samara, who I'll get to her in a moment. Seeing those two characters, and we've been throwing speculations about ever since the beginning of the series that these two were leading up to the adventure of Kawaki, which just because that one guy wears a t-shirt and a jacket doesn't mean that he's confirmed the only guy, or at least Denki evolved from, basically he went from that to transformation from himself to Kawaki, who attacked the village. Kawaki, on the other hand, is still a mystery to all of us in the fan. Nobody knows exactly who he is or how he came to be. At least in the first moments of the first episode, we get to see the beginning parts, the fight between Boruto and Kawaki, while the rest of the anime leads up to those moments. So we're never going to see a time skip somewhere. I'm not sure how long the time skip will be, like 3 years or 2.5 years. I think it was like 2.5 years from the original series from Naruto to Shippuden, and we're going to see one from Boruto to a sequel series of Boruto. We'll move on to the arc right now. We get to introduce many characters from like all new generation. Mitsuki comes into the series. We also see some of the older shinobi like Naruto, Hinata, and everyone else from the past season become full-fledged, like Naruto now an adult, but also Hokage and a father and a husband. As Sai as a dad, Ino as a mom, Sakura as a mom, Tamari, Shikamaru as a family, and Tamari is my funniest mom of all. I'm still waiting for a moment to see Ino as a mom when she deals with Inojin. As for moving forward with the incidents within the story, it's all first of all to deal with the family. As the family right now, all the family members are basically lost in their life. Tamari's basically that kind of mom that, of course, on the line that she's basically. She doesn't really want to get her angry most of the time. She does not want to angry. She's terrified when she's angry. While he's not angry, she's basically gloomy. Like she's very, I don't want to say gloomy, more like if Tamari's like fiercely angry, Hinata can be very scared, like very haunting scare. So if there was a Byakugan eye, he's really scared when she comes to that point. The family life of the Shinobi character, the new generation is basically all fun. Just before we get to see how Sarada does with her family life, Sasuke not being there most of the time, if not all the time. And it was also nice little change to see the status quo from the Naruto norm. Like having all the Naruto characters old beginning while Boruto barely get to see them interact doing studies in the academy. While Boruto we do. For the majority of the entire run of the arc, you get to see the life in the school life while dealing with the school incident, but dealing with the ghost incident. And that's where the ghost incident, right towards the ending of the arc where Mitsuki comes in, basically confirms about who was supposed to die. And I did not expect the fact that this particular character, to be involved in it, and that was the class rep Sumera. Sumera as the victim, as the culprit of the ghost incident was like a surprise to me. It was every Boruto fan who's very fan who was watching the episode. The fact that Sumera was the one who caused the incident, all the incidents, all for the fact that it was taking revenge for her father, who was being a former member of the Foundation by Danzo, was ultimately being disgraced by the village because after the Fourth Village War, every member of the Foundation was sent to prison for dealing with Danzo because Danzo had he had good motives, he had security, he had good intentions to protect his village, but he did some very more undermined methods to it. If anyone who was a focus with Danzo ever since his death and the fall, and ever since the Foundation's dismemberment, will ultimately be considered criminals to the village, or at least some way or another. Not so sure when that's provision during. I think I'm sure before Naruto Kage, and that's mostly during either Tsunade or during Kakashi's Naruto Kage. As for holding Sumera being the fact that she was an item used for revenge, kind of says basically shows about how far that a father can, at least what a parent will do to seek something out of their own intentions, using their own child. Because I see the father is kind of up there with Shotoka from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood for what he did to Neat. And as for this moment here, seeing Sumera go against Mitsuki was actually a great fight scene. By the way, also seeing Shikida versus Metally was also a nice little fight to see the two sons of the son of the genius and the son of the Jaijutsu master clashing on each other for once. So seeing both sides, seeing that was amazing. There were also some episodes in the arc that did kind of follow filler, but it did still tie into the ghost incident, but really had nothing really more moving forward with the whole finding out who the person is who was casting this shadowy figure. And during the arc, we get to see some fact that the Boruto anime referenced the movie The Last, which basically made The Last is already considered canon since the whole confirmation of Naruto and Hinata being the couple as officially canon, so The Last is officially canon to Naruto lore. Maybe we get to see him come back to the series because of the fact that we might see more of him later as Boruto, learns more about Sensei. But it was also during the end of the arc, you could see two scenes of upcoming arcs. Which I was hoping that they will not do this during another Dragon Ball Super run, but they're going to retell the story of the Boruto movie, but hopefully differently when Boruto and the rest of the students become getting in the way. So we're going to see Sasuke most likely return back to the series that's become Boruto's master, while the other arc on the hand is going to be the anime adaptation of the Naruto guidance story the side story, where Sarada was basically mostly Sarada dealing with her issues with not having a dad most of her whole life. So that was basically the arc had some very ups and downs. Mostly with ups was some introductions to new characters, new ideas, and all that stuff. While the bad had there were some filler moments in there, but it did at least somewhat tied into the ghost incident, the overall incident of the whole ghost position. Overall, this is basically a good introduction arc. It was not too long. It wasn't too short. It got just the right enough episodes to introduce us to the world of Boruto. And we're moving forward. So I believe on the 20th, the next episode is going to be out tomorrow, which is basically the day in the life of the Uzumaki family, where we're going to see the animation, that full episode of the day when Naruto becomes Hokage. I think after that episode, we might get the introduction to the Sarada side story. So until then, if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment below, share it with a friend, and I'll see you all next time for the next video. Later.